Class is in session. MLB hitting the books show Monday, July the 7th. Ian Cameron, Connor Mack will be here in just a moment. And we are down to the last week before the All-Star break. Final week of regular season action here before the All-Star break arrives. And very excited about the break, actually. Next week, we're going to have opportunities, to take a break, do a little bit. Well, I'm already doing a lot of football prep work. We're going to have our regular season win totals and futures report in NFL and college football for clients and subscribers out August the 1st. All that information, subscription stuff is posted. Just before CMAC gets here, I want to point out with the subscription stuff, Dub Club is everything. High volume, every bet I place gets posted there. So Bet is just very minimal, low volume for those that only want, top plays, best bets. And then Odds Shopper, kind of in between, where you get a medium-sized card. It's not the low-volume card that you see at SoBet, but it's not every bet like you get with Dub Club. So just to clarify that, because I always get people asking me, what's the difference between the Dub Club subscription with you, the SoBet subscription with you, the Odds Shopper subscription with you, and those are the differences right there. It's just the volume of plays that you get on a daily basis in all sports, and so all of that's there. Just to point that out at Bobano Bets on Twitter, all the links for subscribing and signing up with that. And it's been a hell of a baseball run. It's been a hell of a baseball run for me. It's been a hell of a baseball run for CMAC. He's been doing some great work as well. As far as Major League Baseball is concerned, we're both going to be disappointed that the All-Star break's arriving, quite honestly, because of the form we're both in. But hopefully we can continue to add to the profits here in the days leading up to the All-Star break. So with that in mind, let's try to do that. And we will begin with the Tampa Bay Rays and the Detroit Tigers on this Monday MLB slate. We've got Montero on the mound for the Tigers and Shane Baz for the Tampa Bay Rays. It's pretty much an even money price here, minus 110, both sides, 8.5 being the total here in this game. It looks like for the Tigers, while it will be an opener with Montero here on the mound, 4.02 ERA. He hasn't pitched that bad this year, but it's not someone I don't certainly like him as much as some of the other pitchers that the Tigers throw out there. Shane Baz with a 4.33 ERA. I always say about him, I always thought he would be better than he's been to this point in the season. What are you going to get from him? He has had a couple of decent starts, though, of late. Tampa Bay coming off a series against Minnesota. Detroit, now the one thing I'd be concerned about with the Tigers is they had to play extras yesterday against Cleveland. And holy mackerel, if you had the under in that Tigers and Guardians game, there's nothing I can say that's going to make you feel any fucking better, because that's about as brutal as it gets. A 1-0 game in the ninth inning. And if you had under 7.5 there with Detroit Cleveland yesterday, and it gets blown up in extra innings because of a 7-2 win for Detroit, I mean, that's just horrible, horrible, horrible if you were part of that bad beat. But this game, I lean Rays. I lean over because of the conditions. It's going to be very hot, very uncomfortable in Detroit. Maybe we'll see some runs here, but no real strong opinions on either here. CMAC in the house now to get the week going. Connor, what do you think here with the first game on the slate, Tampa Bay, Detroit?
Yeah, I'm passing on this game. We saw the Rays come back, yesterday and get the win, which I was happy about. The bullpen, all of a sudden, is kind of falling apart.
Bullpen has really hit the shits the last week.
Yeah,
that is worth mentioning. Very poor.
ERA is awful. So there was one guy to look at this game, I think, Miranda Caminero. I almost pulled the trigger on him. I mean, they've seen Montero a little bit. He's 2 for 2 with a homer. Yeah, and you talked about that was just a wild game. If you had that under, just a dead nuts under, and then all those runs. I've seen that happen a few times. It's crazy. I'm just glad I wasn't on the under. So I'd have been real sick to my stomach. But yeah, I just think this is a little bit of a coin flip. I think the Rays could get to Montero a little bit in this game. I think the Tigers get to our guy, Baz. As much as I kind of back him, I don't love him as much on the road, even though he's had some decent performances, some ugly ones. I'm off.
All right, Marlins and Reds, Jansen Junk, Brady Singer. Cincinnati minus 140, home favorites, 9 the total in this game. Marlins obviously losing 2 of 3 over the weekend at home against Milwaukee. You know what's funny about the Marlins is they don't always hit at home, and they've been crushing the last road trip they had at least. They were crushing the baseball. Offensively, it seems like they're better on the road, believe it or not, than at home. That last road trip, just ask Arizona and San Francisco. They hammered Giants and Diamondbacks pitching on the road. Maybe they can do that again here. I mean, Brady Singer is kind of he's been actually pretty solid, but he's been a little bit more troublesome the last 2 starts. He struggled and labored through Boston. 2 runs, 3 hits, 3 innings. Walks were a problem. He was in some discomfort after that start. Before that, against the Yankees, he gave up 4 runs on 6 hits. So he's given up 6 runs in his last 8 innings. It's not the trending direction you want to see out of Brady Singer. So maybe this Marlins team, which has hit better on the road, can do some damage. And I don't trust Jansen Junk in this ballpark. He's a 5.14 ERA. Pitching in a park where the home run ball can be a problem, and he's given up a homer in 3 of his last 5 starts. Another setting here where hot, muggy, humid conditions in Cincinnati. So might be able to get this one over the total. I certainly think that's worth a look. C-Mac, what do you think here? Miami, Cincy.
Yeah, I think there could be some runs here by both these teams. We'll see with Singer. I mean, he basically that game got cut off. That was the start he was in. I mean, he threw just 56 pitches, I think, against the Red Sox his last start. But talking about his command, hasn't been there. That's why he struggled a little bit. The last month and a half. We'll see what we get from Junk. But I think both teams, the bats can come. And you touched on it a little bit right there. It's just the Marlins is where I want to back them, is, on the road, and as dogs. That's where in between the bat. And, half this lineup, people don't, more than that, the regular fan or anything can't name any of these fuckers. But they've been able to get the job done.
That's probably true. I don't deny that. All right, Colorado and Boston. Austin Gomber, the lefty, and Richard Dickey Fitz here for the Boston Red Sox. Boston minus 240, I should say, home favorites. 10 the total in this game. It's another one where I think the over's in play. I mean, Gomber, 5 ERA. He's actually pitched okay, and it's funny with him. He's pitched okay at times at Coors, and on the road he's had his issues. So see if that carries over. Still a 5.68 ERA is not what you want to see. But I'm not a big Richard Fitz fan. Dick Fitz here for the Boston Red Sox, 4.5 ERA for him in his last 5 starts, and 4.5 ERA overall for him here this season. The Red Sox starting to swing the bats again. They kind of cooled off during a little bit of a slump there of a week or so ago. But in that Washington series, man, maybe that was that Red Sox lineup that got fucking Mike Rizzo, the GM, and Davey Martinez, the manager, fired there with the Washington Nationals. But certainly the Red Sox did a number on Nationals pitching, 27 runs in the 3 games for the Boston Red Sox in that series. And if they're doing that to the Nationals pitching staff, should be able to do some damage here against this awful Rockies pitching staff as well. But I think Colorado can score some runs too. I know it's dicey with Colorado, right? On the road, they just flat out don't hit half the time, but Richard Fitz is hittable. You can do some damage and make something happen against him. So I think over 10, it's a high total, but high for a reason. C-Mac, what do you think here? Rockies, Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, this is good hitting weather here. Wind blowing out, 10, 85 degrees. Can't hate that. And the Red Sox, since the trade, they're 9-9, but they scored all those runs like you talked about. I'd look for this lineup, Anthony and Ref Snyder, 2 guys, even Story.
Story's been hitting better.
5-hole. Yeah. Those 3 guys, I think, could do some damage. Now, thing is with Gomber, he could still get, he's been, since he's been back, his starts have been all right. The Red Sox, what do you take from their lineup, though? They've hit lefties kind of before everything, and after they've been, basically top 5 all year, if you go through all the categories. So, yeah, I think there could be runs. The Red Sox, though, you got Dick Fitz on the mound. Just can't be this price. There's just, I don't care if they're playing this good of baseball. There's just no way I could back them. So just look to their team total, I think, if you think they can get to Gomber here.
Which I think is definitely a possibility that they would be able to get to him. So we'll see if that is going to be indeed the case here for them. All right, LA Dodgers and the Milwaukee Brewers. We've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto and Fast Freddy Peralta on the mound in this matchup. Dodgers minus 140 road favorites, 7.5 the total here in this game. Numbers moving toward Milwaukee here. Look, Dodgers got their ass kicked. There's nothing else to say. There's no other way to describe it against Houston over the weekend. Not good at all from what we saw from the Dodgers. We'll see if they can bounce back. Maybe they need to get on the road following a series like that. I think, too, what's something to keep in mind with the Dodgers, and it's certainly something I think we all need to be aware of, complacency. I think there's a real shot we see a lot of that for the Dodgers the rest of the regular season because they've got such a big cushion. Well, it was big. It's starting to drop a little bit with the losses they suffered over the week.
It's not that bad because the Giants, the Padres, these teams have not been very good. We'll get into that later. That's what's helped out too. They have not been great.
I agree with that. I'm just saying conceptually, I don't want to be running out there every day and betting on the Dodgers the rest of the season. Complacency, just trying to get to the playoffs. They have a 7-game cushion still over. Even with the sweep at the hands of Houston, there's still 7 games up on the Padres and the Giants for first in the NL West. So I'm not really excited about backing the Dodgers. This is one spot I did think about it, though, because you're getting them at minus 130, minus 135. You don't get the Dodgers at a price like that too often. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto is someone that I mentioned the last time he was on the mound. He's actually been better on the road than he's been at Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium, he's given up 9 runs in his last 17 innings. But on the road, he shut out Colorado. He shut out St. Louis. He didn't give up a single run in his last 11 innings pitched on the road. So he's been a pretty good road pitcher here for the Dodgers. So maybe a nice little get on the road, start a road trip before the break, and bounce back from that sweep at the hands of Houston. Meanwhile, Peralta for the Brewers, he's been pretty solid. That'd be my one. That's why I'm hesitating on taking the Dodgers, because Peralta's form is pretty good. 3 runs or less in 5 straight starts, 4-1. The Brewers in his last 5 starts, 2.89 ERA. So very good numbers for Freddie Peralta of late. We'll see if he can carry that over here to this matchup against the Dodgers tonight. So I like the spot for the Dodgers getting on the road after getting swept at home. Yamamoto's been really good on the road, better on the road than at home. Value now on the Dodgers, less than minus 140 in some spots. But I'm a little hesitant just because Peralta's been pretty good lately for Milwaukee. So I do lean Dodgers, though, here in this one. C-Mac, what do you think? Dodgers, Brewers?
Yeah, they just got their ass whipped by the Astros. They sweep the lowly White Sox and then get killed. Man, Christian Walker, guys, just kills the Dodgers. Look to him, Dodger Stadium, always. Altuve, too. He had that fucking guy, that little cheater with the buzzer, as I always say. But he's still a great hitter. I don't need to rag on him too much. Let's get to this.
Hey, people have to pipe down about the cheating stuff. They've shown they can still win without that since then. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but it is what it is. So I mean, he was always a great ball player, and a lot of those guys are just it is. Anyways, I like the under in this game. There's still some 8s out there and 7.5s too. That basically a lot of spots, but there are some 8s because I think Yamamoto pitches good. I mean, this is a big game, I think, for him. You know what I mean? It's got after the sweep, he's been very good on the road. Brewers take 2 or 3. They've been solid at home all year, 27-17. So I just think we get a tighter, low-scoring game. And I think Peralta is pretty good. He got hit by the Dodgers. This is the type of pitcher that they could get to if they're patient, because he has a problem at times with walks. Yep. So, and I wanted to look at the Dodger lineup here. I know a few guys are going out. I just saw this. Is it up yet in this game?
Let me just
trying to refresh
your Dodgers lineup. It is not out yet. Not out.
But
yet.
I saw Hernandez might be out. There's just a few guys here when I just saw it out on Twitter. So they might not have their A lineup in this game. But yeah, I think this is tight under.
All right, next up, we've got this might be the hottest team going right now. The Toronto Blue Jays taking on the Chicago White Sox. We've got Jose Barrios and Sean Burke here on the mound. Blue Jays minus 160, road favorites, 8.5 the total here in this game. Blue Jays just keep on winning. Wow. Look, it was a very good series, competitive with the Angels over the weekend, but they swept that series, and that was probably even more impressive than sweeping the Yankees because, sometimes you'd expect maybe an emotional letdown, an emotional hangover when you win 4 straight against the Yankees and you overtake them for first in the division in the process. You're just ripe for the picking and a letdown in the next series, and they didn't have that letdown. They swept the Angels over the weekend, 7 straight. They win every game on that homestand, and now they're taking on this. Don't look now, though. The White Sox starting to play some better baseball. Now, they did beat Colorado. It's not saying a whole lot, but nevertheless, the White Sox, 500 baseball their last 10 games, which for them is pretty good. So this may not be as easy a series as you would think for a team that's won, the 9 in their last 10 and 8 straight going into this game. That being said, here's the problem for the White Sox. Berríos has absolutely owned them. Like, really, he has just completely dominated the Chicago White Sox. He has shut them down. He has allowed just 4 runs in 20-plus innings of work. The Blue Jays are 3-0 in Berríos' 3 starts against the White Sox. Just done a number on them. Now, he struggled in his last outing against the Yankees, but probably a good bounce back. The one thing about Berríos is the last time he gave up 6 runs against the Phillies, he bounced back against this Chicago team, and he held them to 1 run. Now he's off a start where he gave up 6 to the Yankees. And again, looking to bounce back against this same team. So I would expect he could probably pitch okay. Burke is someone that, honestly, at home here in this ballpark, he hasn't pitched that bad. He had the one really poor outing against Houston, but he's been actually okay since then. But I don't love the spot for the White Sox traveling off L.A., Colorado, back-to-back road series. And now all of a sudden and I don't love backing teams coming off Colorado either. So that's a small bet. I'm just a little leery of the spot here for Toronto going on the road after winning every game on the homestand. But I did grab a little Toronto -1 run line, which you can get around -125 or so in this game. Certainly I like that more than laying the price with the money line. C-Mac, what do you think here? Blue Jays, White Sox.
Yeah, this is to me an under here at 8.5. It's just White Sox leave Colorado, even though their games have been a little bit more competitive. And I think it's a little bit of a flat spot, as good as the Jays have been playing. Now, those last 3 games went under, all 1-run games, 4-3, 4-3, 3-2. The bats have been pretty good. It just seems, this line, Redbeard, like you talked about, maybe not 250, but maybe, why is this -200? They're just red hot, leaving it. I think this game could be competitive. One weird thing with Burke, too, he's had a bunch of games, like 7 out of his last 8 starts, I think, or something like that, have been all 1-run games, 3-2, 4-5. He's pitched pretty good. So, I think this game's an under. Maybe the White Sox are live here.
All right. Like I said, it's not like I said. I could see this being competitive too. There's no question.
Off a bad start, Jose, it seems like this is good for him to at least give you a quality start. 6 innings, maybe give up just a couple.
You're right. There's something about this spot. I'm not loving it for the Jays. I don't love it for Chicago either. Like traveling off L.A. and Colorado back home. I don't love that. And Berríos has owned this lineup. He has completely shut them down in the past. So that's why I'm still on the Jays at -1 run line, even though I think it's not the greatest maybe of spots for them. All right, Pittsburgh and Kansas City. No relation, but Noah Cameron, I should say, on the mound for Kansas City. Andrew Heaney for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Kansas City -145, home favorites 8.5 being the total here in this game. You look at this Royals team. They're actually better on the road than at home. They are. Go look at their record. They actually play better on the road than they do at home, this Royals team. I'm going to grab a little shot with Pittsburgh here. I get it. Pittsburgh's offense is completely MIA. To not score a bloody run in 3 games over the weekend against the Seattle Mariners is atrocious. It's absolutely awful. But you can't convince me that -150 almost is a price we should be laying with Kansas City at home, where they have a 20-24 record. And Noah Cameron, to me, has got all kinds of warning signs that point to regression for him. I know he's been solid, but there's all kinds of warning signs that point that he's going to go up, not down, from this point. The Royals, actually, or the Pirates rather, have been hitting lefties in their last 10 games better .281 average, 5.8 runs per game. Meanwhile, Andrew Heaney, who bounced back from 2 rough outings and shut out the Cardinals in very impressive fashion in his last start. I still think he's a capable pitcher, and against a weaker lineup, I think he can pitch okay here, Andrew Heaney. So I think it's a live dog here, Pittsburgh. And it's more so not – I know they got shut out and they got swept over the weekend, didn't score a run. I get it. But at the same point in time, this is just Kansas City's not bad a great lineup all year. Home issues galore. Like their Kauffman Stadium record's worse than their road record, and they're laying this kind of a price. I got to think Pittsburgh, too, after – that's pretty embarrassing. You not only get swept in Seattle, you don't score a run. Not one run in 3 games. I think a nice little buy low here on Pittsburgh here. So I'm going to take a shot with them. Ugly game, but give me the Pirates here. C-Mac, what do you think here? Pirates, Royals.
Yeah, I'm going to double check this. I already know it's better because the Pirates just are bad here. What are they? Versus lefties?
Falter didn't have a great game. They've been better lately. Last 10 games, they've been 286 average versus lefties. Certainly a little bit better. I'll tell you what, their pitching was good over the weekend. Burrows gave them a chance. Skeens was solid. They just couldn't score a fucking run. Terrible.
I think they could score some runs here today. I mean, maybe not a lot. Does this game go over? And I don't know. Does Heaney pitch back-to-back good games? I was on that after he got shelled 2 straight starts where he gave up 7. And then he was just really good against the Cardinals where he went 6 2/3. They gave up nothing. Cat's just like trusting these teams because I think maybe we get some runs. Royals all year have been all right against lefties. And that has been the thing with Castillo, the pitchers in this series is Pirates only got a couple left-handed sticks. Horowitz, Reynolds is a switch hitter, so it was tough for them. So even as bad as numbers have been, I kind of like him. Now Cameron, dominant early to start the year. Now he's kind of given up. We talked about him multiple times, how that was probably coming. So I think the Pirates definitely here could be alive. And I think there's runs to just get it over. Not that I'm not betting it, but I think we can get some runs here.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, I think there's positive thoughts we could have that both lineups might be able to produce tonight, but not easy to bet overs.
Bobby Witt. Just take fucking Bobby. He's like the only guy. Seems like he'd do anything. Even if they're lost, they score a run or 2, he's taking care of business. Yeah. At least he gets a couple knocks.
He's definitely the one constant right now for this team. There's no question about it. All right, Cleveland and Houston. We've got the Astros minus 130. Home favorites, 7.5 the total. What is this bullshit here with this line move, by the way? People are betting Cleveland like they know the final score and don't know that Cleveland is a fucking mess right now, and Houston's one of the hottest teams in baseball. What, we just think that Houston's coming off sweeping the Dodgers and they're just going to fall flat here? I mean,
that's what we see. I mean, this is baseball. It's,
It is baseball, and if you got Cleveland at the opener, great. I could see it. Yeah, maybe a little flat spot for the Astros, feeling good, high and mighty after sweeping the Dodgers. But this Cleveland team is unbackable. No way. No chance. 10 games in a row that they've lost. And this bullpen is atrocious. They saw what they did yesterday in a winnable game. Bybee actually, or not Bybee, but who was on the mound yet? It was Gavin Williams. He pitched okay. He actually pitched Scooble to a standstill.
Yeah.
And then they can't hit. They have 0 punch at the plate right now. 3 runs in their last 4 games combined is horrific. Bullpen has gone way downhill. It is just a disaster of a team right now. So if you got Cleveland at plus 155 when it opened, good. Great. All right, solid. I get it, maybe from a spot perspective. But now that I can get Houston minus 125, I'm taking Houston. That's all there is to it. This is ridiculous. I mean, Houston at home, 32-14 home record at Daikin Park. 2025 road record. Cleveland lost 10 in a row. Bybee's not someone I trust. 5 runs given up in his last start against the Cubs. Only lasted 4 innings. They're also 0-4 in Bybee's last 4 starts, Cleveland. And I'm not a big fan of Colton Gordon, for Houston. He's okay. He's not great. But they win with Colton Gordon on the mound. 3.16 ERA. It's solid. It's been better than Bybee in the last 5 starts. Astros are 4-1. In the last 5 games. I get it. All the the issues here with the spot here for Houston. I get all that, but we're talking betting prices now, not teams. And right now, that's a price I have to take now with Houston, that they are minus 125 at home against Cleveland, who are just careening off the side of the cliff right now. So I wasn't expecting to bet this game initially this morning when it was minus 180 on Houston, but now I see minus 125. I'm betting Houston. Simple. Case closed. It's way too much of a price adjustment. Way too much. C-Mac, what do you think here? Cleveland, Houston.
Yeah, I could see it if you want to, this has come way down now, take the Astros. And the other side, that's how I feel, is if, you grab like 155, but it's too low for me because I think the Guardians could be a lot. And this team sucks. I just think after the sweep with the Dodgers, I mean, when you score that many runs, I even thought the next day, and they had a big fourth, right as Ohtani goes out, I think it was the fourth, they score 4 or 5 runs after score 18, and then they win 6-4. So, and the Dodger bullpen has problems. Another reason why I think Yamamoto needs to be big today. Dodger bullpen problems right now.
Oh, yeah, 1.6 runs per game and 174 average against lefties for Cleveland last 10.
Oh, they've been at the bottom of the list. They're just going to hit that. It doesn't even matter. The slight movement. I mean, they've been 25th to 30th, it seems like, for forever. A short time had been better than that, their numbers, for like a short week or two span. But yeah, it just hasn't been very good. So you know what? Yeah, I am off. I don't want anything here.
I was off, but now I'm on
sleepy spot though, a little bit. Maybe they keep rolling though. But this is true. But it's like one of those games where I could see it's just like 3-2, like, and they might lose. They just played, I think, last month. Most of those games were, I believe, low scoring, like 4-3, 3-2. Guardians playing different baseball than both these teams. And the Astros have been fucking ripping righties. It's been unbelievable. The numbers they put up the last 3 weeks or month. It's been gaudy. They've been ripping righties.
That's been impressive. There's no doubt. This is all about that's why it's called the sports betting market.
Yeah, this is why exactly. This is a great game today.
Yeah,
to have people, but now it's different. And what still people take for sure, for sure.
That's why they call it a market. Houston minus 180. No, thank you. Houston minus 125 here. Absolutely. That's where I'm at. All right, next up, Texas Rangers and LA Angels. Texas minus 135, road favorites, 7.5 the total in this one. Kikuchi and DeGrom. I think Texas might be the worst way to go. I did take Texas here, smaller bet, minus 130, 35. DeGrom's been really good. I mean, there's not really much else to say. He's been consistent in every game. You don't always know what you're going to get from Kikuchi. Texas is starting to swing it a little bit better. And I don't love the spot for the Angels, by the way. They had to use their bullpen. Every game was a pretty close one against the Jays, and they're traveling from Toronto all the way back to the West Coast. No day off. Not a great scheduling situational travel spot for the Angels by any stretch of the imagination. So I think all things considered, Texas worth a look here. Not my favorite bet, but worth a look at the price here. C-Mac, Texas, and the LA Angels.
Yeah, it's a little juicy, of course, with DeGrom, but I think it's a bad spot for the Angels. Kikuchi has been pretty good. He's been at his best at home. There's a time or two I wanted to fade him, and he came through. I mean, his ERA is under 3. I think he'd be good here. They've seen him a lot. Of course, a guy who came through twice last week, Simeon, not the best numbers, but he has a couple of homers. Seager kind of getting going. Smith a little bit. So I think they are live. Also, I like the under in this game as well. And one thing I might not is the Angels team total. The 3.5 minus 135. I don't mind that, but I might even go in the 2.5. DeGrom's just been good so far. You know what I mean? It's just even the back-to-back he just faced the Orioles. You think the second time they could get to him, he gave up a 2-run shot. That was it. I think he can be, pitch well here again. 6 innings, give up just a couple. So Rangers under.
All right, next up, we got 2 games left. It is Arizona and San Diego. Zach Gallen and Yu Darvish back on the bump for the Padres for the first time this season. We've got San Diego minus 120 home favorites, 8 the total, shaded slightly to the over. That's what I like. I think there could be some. I'm Zach Gallen and his north of 5 ERA is not someone I'm trusting against this Padres lineup. But I'll be damned if I'm ready to trust Yu Darvish coming off shoulder inflammation for his first start of the season. We have no idea how he's going to fare. All he's done is simulated games up till this point in preparation for this game. And both bullpens have really had their issues of late. And we know Arizona's bullpen all year has had some struggles, but San Diego's at times has been a little flighty. So I think this total at 8, I think it can get up and over the total. Got question marks about both Gallen and a returning Yu Darvish going into this one here tonight. C-Mac, what do you think? Arizona, San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, Gallen gave up the couple, then he pitched great the last 5 innings of that game, his last start. I mean, a little bit of the old Zach Gallen. Some of these Padres have hit him well. Padres, though, just haven't been. Bats, have been not very good. Scored, a few runs. They lost the race. They know they won last night, 4-1. But I think Tatis or Machado here today. Merrill's got to get going. I think that injury was worse than we first thought. Since he's been back, the power just hasn't been there. It really hasn't come through. So I don't know. I think it's something to watch. Rise had 4 hits. I just didn't get the switch from them 2 to 4 here. Rise hitting in the 4-hole. I don't know. I don't really get it. I would just hit him lead off or second with a guy like that instead of 4th. But I think there can be runs. Darvish, like you talked about, no starts at all, just simulation games. And he's coming off his elbow, being a little bit of the problem why he's been out for the last 4 months. And these D-backs have seen him plenty. I think Suarez, Naylor, Marte, there's some nice prices here for these guys tonight.
Yeah, this could be a nice little game to dabble in props, RBI props, home run props. I think it could be a game where
Darvish could go out and pitch great and Gallen, and the Padres haven't been raking. But I like the D-backs are off just getting shut out. They looked just dreadful in that last game against the Royals yesterday. It was just kind of a snooze fest, 4-0. I think the runs, they can get some here today. So yeah, definitely this one too. Maybe look live if you're looking at it, in this game or live props.
Here's another thing, too, about Darvish. This is right elbow inflammation. He's had 1 million of these, by the way, in his career. He's been injured so many fucking times, this guy. And he's now been in the big leagues for, 13 years, going back to 2012. Texas, a brief stint with the Dodgers, Chicago Cubs, and then San Diego. That's his career. He's had 1 million injuries. This is not him coming off right elbow inflammation at age 26 in the prime of his career. He's 38 years old now. Coming back from these kind of injuries is even more difficult at this stage of his, and he's had a ton, like I said, a ton of them. So I think being in rhythm, being in good form, coming off an injury like this at 38, now approaching 40 in a couple years, it's way more difficult for Darvish to be ready to rock coming off an injury like this now than say earlier in his career. So I'm okay betting against him. I don't expect him to be great.
Yeah, it's Arizona or pass. Isaiah just put it in there. It's them or nothing. Gallen's just been a little bit of the wild card. We get a little bit better Gallen here. Face a Padres team that hasn't been hitting as great, or do they wake up? We see the Gallen we've kind of seen all year, who's gotten hit around. I mean, 6-9 with a 5.45 ERA. Sorry.
I get the Arizona sentiment as far as let's bet on Arizona here, but I hate their road record. San Diego is still very good at
their
bullpen.
Yeah, you have to go first 5 for the most part. That's what so many. If you've kind of took D-backs full game losses, home or on the road, have been like oof, especially the last 6 weeks or so.
I just don't love the price enough. I would lean Arizona too, but like I said, I just like the over a whole lot more. All right, our last game of this Monday card: Philadelphia Phillies, San Francisco Giants. Christopher Sanchez for the Phillies, Landon Raup for the Giants. Philadelphia -135 road favorites, 7.5 the total here in this game. I definitely could only look at the Phillies here. Sanchez has been terrific. 1.8 ERA in his last 5 starts, 2.7 ERA for the season. He's 2-0 against the Giants in his career. Everything says you got to back Philly here. The only hesitation here is just them making the long flight, from the East Coast without the day off. It's a long flight to get to San Francisco. But I definitely give him the edge over Landon Raup. Although Raup, to his credit, actually the Giants have won each of his last 3 starts. He's given up 3 runs in his last 15 innings. Are those Phillies bats a little jet lagged, just like they might be tonight, possibly? But I just respect Sanchez way too much to fade him and bet against him here in this kind of price range. So it's a lean to the Phillies here, if anything. Don't know if I'll get there, but Phillies are nothing for me. I just respect Sanchez that much. C-Mac, what do you think here? Phillies, Giants.
Yeah, he's been that good. When you look at the numbers, just consistent, like 6-7 innings, a couple runs. So I get what everyone's on Philly here. All the money, all the tickets. This has dropped a little bit, from 140 to 130. Not a ton. It's better like the Giants take anything from that series of bats, but it's against the A's here, in that ballpark. But it was good to see because they haven't done anything. These teams faced earlier, like you talked about. Sanchez gave up a couple. All three of those games, I remember those were a bunch of runs, though. Even that game late, I think, that he pitched. All went way over. That's when San Francisco was scoring a bunch of runs early in the year. I think that game was in April. And Rope, he's been good. I saw his whole start. I was on that under with the Red Sox. He didn't give up anything. If he's working, his stuff's decent. His stuff has great movement, but he can walk people, which is always a problem, which I fucking hate backing a pitcher. But I think the Giants are live. I like the other side here a little bit. But when I look to that means I look under. I don't know if we have a bunch of runs. This is one game I've looked at a bunch, but I haven't made a bet on.
Yeah, it could be an under. Could be an under. This game is an under lean. The other under lean for me was the game you mentioned already that you like under, Dodgers and Brewers. That could be an under in my opinion as well here tonight. But this one I think I would lean under as well. Certainly first five in that one. All right, good stuff. There's your Monday card. Jack of the day, home run props. C-Mac, you got any?
Yeah, I think Ketel Marte could go yard. Just seen him a bunch. 11 for 38. I think he could go yard. There's a couple. Jose Ramirez. If anyone's going to get going, I think it could be today for him. I mentioned Cameron Yarrow earlier. I think is a solid play for the Rays.
Going to go to that game we talked about, Arizona. I think there's definitely going to be some run scoring.
Yeah, Tatis is some good ones. Yep. Not the best price. He's plus
Allen.
350.
Yep. Merrill.
Yeah, it's Machado, Merrill.
Allen. Yep.
Eugenio
Suarez. He's been hitting pretty good lately.
Oh, he just hit bombs. Yeah, that's all he does. He hit home run.
Yeah, he's one of those classic feast or famine, strikeout or home run guys. Eugenio Suarez, and lately he's been doing some damage. So those are three that stand out right there. You mentioned Tatis, Merrill for the Padres, Suarez, I think for the Diamondbacks. Worth a look there in that one. You definitely could see. I got to mention just because he's just really had success against Kikuchi and he's starting to heat up. Adolis Garcia for the Texas Rangers. Adolis Garcia, 2 homers against Kikuchi in the past. So that is definitely
him or Simeon. Yeah. I think could go yard tonight if you look in that game.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's a good one as well. There we go. That's it. Those are the main ones here for me. But home run props on this Monday slate. All right, best bets for this Monday card to get us going. It's just been a great few weeks for both of us here in MLB. No complaints. Just been a great run. We're actually kind of disappointed. It's going to be the All-Star break next week because of just how much of a rhythm we're in from a betting standpoint in this sport. But hey,
well, I got to say too for it as well. But watch this week and the week after. There's some wild things that go on before the break. It just seems like, I don't know, it's this guy sitting, they're getting happy that they're getting a break. I don't know.
Some players with one eye looking toward the break, whether they're going to the All-Star festivities or getting away on vacation, whatever the case may be, you're right. And you'll see some mail-it-in tendencies from certain players and certain pitchers, hitters.
Just weird scores and stuff. Then kind of going, a year after year doing this, it's always, I just see it in these couple weeks and right after too. So just look out for that if you're going wild. If you're winning, keep rolling. But if you have some bad days, step back, take a look always, maybe take a small break or lower your, what you're betting on. Maybe don't bet.
Hey, if I find myself cooling off the first few days this week, I'm going to be tightening the belt the rest of the week.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. So
yeah, no doubt. That's a good advice right there. All right, hopefully we have some good advice here with best bets. C-Mac, what do you got for best bet?
Yeah, my best bet is the under. Rangers Angels, tough spot for the Angels to come back with the travel. I think DeGrom's good enough here. And same thing with Gucci. Under 7.5, minus 110.
All right, Rangers, Angels under 7.5 for CMAC with best bet. Mine's going to be that Diamondbacks, Padres over. I like it. Arizona, San Diego, late night action, over 8, minus 115. I think we see runs there. I'm not trusting Darvish to be sharp, and we know Gallen hasn't had a great year, north of 5 ERA. We see runs there, in my opinion. Diamondbacks, Padres, over 8 for best bet. Shout out to the chat. Mark A., Zoe, Justin McKelvey, Craig Carlberg, Robert Carlson, Mark A., Tom Leach. Appreciate everyone join us. Isaiah Scurry, Joey Moses, Redbeard, Goryan Ninkovsky,
Gorky,
Richard S. Gorky. Yep. Good to see Gorky there as well. Mark A. Like I mentioned, everyone else, the people that were in early, I see Mark A. Mark A. is one of our, Brian Elfring, everyone that joins us each and every day here on the show. We Jorge Herrera, of course, Gerald Jones, Mr. D, Manny 004, going right back to the top of the list. Great crowd. Newfie Codfather. Appreciate all you guys joining us. We will do shows next week. It's All-Star break, but we'll start to get a couple college football related shows going. Conference. When we do these conference previews, we'll do a couple conferences next week. I'll talk with Connor which ones he wants to start with, but we're just going to do overall. We're not doing team by team. We're just going to say, here we go. What do you think of the conference? Any futures you think might be worth a look, that kind of thing. As far as going too much time it would take to go through every team. So it'll just be nice little quick hitters here on just the overall conference and certain teams that we have strong opinion. If we have zero opinion on a certain team, we're not even going to bring it up. But if we have an opinion on a team where it's like we really think it's a good bet on team, we really think it's a good bet against team, then we will talk about it in our conference previews, and we'll start to get those going next week.
And with those, some of the quick ones we can just touch on the transfer, stuff like that. If we don't have we're going to be, a bet on them or just something like that, we could just rip through it real quick. And the ones more we want to talk about, we'll go a little extra, especially if we have a look on it.
Absolutely. No doubt. I mean, we're going to be doing Hitting the Books college football again in like 6 weeks. That's how close it is to being back. So buckle up. It's going to be here before you know it. No doubt. Great stuff. That's a wrap for Connor Mack. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Monday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we will be back with you tomorrow on Tuesday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.
Peace.